Hi everybody, this is Dr. Timothy Baggett with FewerTrays.com, and I'm going to teach you about the Bolton analysis. So the Bolton analysis I think is a really powerful tool. It's a tool I use on almost every Clincheck, and hopefully you will too. It's a Clincheck tool you'll find here in the Clincheck software toolbar. If you just click on tables, you'll get the drop-down menu that says Bolton analysis, and you can click on that to bring it up. You can also hit Shift B. When you do that, you'll get this table that has the majority of the information is just the mesiodistal widths of the teeth. But what we're going to talk about here is the actual Bolton index itself. There's the 3 to 3 index and the 6 to 6 index, and I'll explain what each of those are. So if you click on the information tab, it gives you this very complicated and difficult to understand explanation. And I will simplify that right now. What this essentially means is it's a measurement of the proportionality of the lower anterior teeth to the upper anterior teeth. Now we're talking about the 3 to 3 index, or canine to canine. So basically what it says is that the width of the teeth, 22 through 27, so lower canine to lower canine, should be 77.2% of the width of the upper teeth, 6 to 11, canine to canine. And this would result in a Bolton index of 0. To illustrate this, keep in mind this graphic is not actual numbers, but I just use the numbers to make the math a little bit easier. So for example, if we have 100 millimeters from canine to canine on the upper, that's 6 to 11, and 77.2 on the lower canine to canine, we would have a Bolton index of 0. So there can be a mandibular excess or a maxillary excess. And what this means is that the mandibular excess means that the lower teeth are disproportionately big relative to the upper teeth. However, it can also mean that the upper teeth are disproportionately small. Conversely, the maxillary excess means that the upper teeth are disproportionately big relative to the lower teeth, or the lower teeth can be disproportionately small. There are two different reporting methods, which are simply arithmetic to prevent a negative number. And this demonstrates that. So what this says is that the sum of the width of the maxillary anterior mandibular teeth divided by the sum of the width of the maxillary anterior teeth, you take those two numbers, and if it's less than 0.772, then we have a maxillary excess. If it's greater than 0.772, we have a mandibular excess. Again, another way to report that would be a maxillary insufficiency or a mandibular insufficiency. And again, this math here just demonstrates the two different reporting methods so that we don't get a negative number. So the 6 to 6 Bolton index is essentially the same concept, but rather than going from canine to canine as we did in the 3 to 3 index, we go from first molar to first molar. Again, it's the same concept, but the proportionality changes somewhat. So basically what it says is that the width of teeth 19 through 30 should be 91.3% of the width of the teeth 3 through 14. So first molar to first molar. Again, this is mesiodistal width. So this illustrates it again with fictional numbers, but you see the concept. If this lower number were to be, say, 93, that would be a mandibular excess. If this upper number would be 102, well, that would be a maxillary excess. Again, if the numbers could be flipped so that there was an insufficiency in either arch as well. So this is a case that should scream Bolton discrepancy. We see lower IPR, and then we also see these small maxillary incisors. The software is kind of programmed to keep all the spaces closed, and it can't really add to the teeth, so its only solution is to do lower IPR here. But what I see is not that the lower teeth are too big, needing IPR, but the upper teeth are too small. This is a textbook Bolton maxillary insufficiency. So this is a quick synopsis of the Bolton analysis. Please feel free to reach out to tb@fewertrades.com if you have any other questions. I'd love a like, a comment, or a subscribe on my YouTube channel. And as always, feel free to submit a case at fewertrades.com so we can help you achieve the fastest, most predictable Invisalign Clinchecks. Thank you.